Out of all the different cultures and things that you have seen and been exposed to, how have you collated all of those things that you've seen and people you met and experiences that you've had in terms of your own personal philosophy about how you think about life and growth and those types of things?
Well, it's a great question, and it could go in so many different ways we could begin. But I think, having been in war, it was a Muslim country, and coming from a Catholic environment through the IRA war and the sort of Protestant Catholic war in Ireland, religions played a big part in the conflict that I could see. Maybe not at government level, we'll talk about that again, but like for the people, the cultures, they're very dedicated to loving God, So when I was in Iraq, I've really studied hard the Quran, taught by Shia men, and then taught by Sunni men. So I got both perspectives of what the teachings were like. Right, they're very similar, but also very different. And it's the same as the Protestants and Catholics. So I think the reason I was so successful in Iraq, and the reason I was so successful in what I do now, is because I took time to study the religions and take the nice piece of the peace and love and forgiveness and understanding. I did the same with Buddhism. By knowing those cultural dominant feelings or emotions, I found myself able to immerse myself in the culture and not be so judgmental. So I think religion played a big part of me being me. And by coming to Australia, I had to find my own development in spirituality before I found religious teachings useful. It wasn't so that Aboriginals opened my mind up to a dream and a meditation and things like that I was able to then look at different religions without being emotionally attached and just see it as information coming in. And over the years, you start to understand that everyone who's angry is going against their religious writing. They're making excuses for it, but they're going against it. And I think when you're dealing with conflict and you can remind people who are passionately religious, that can calm them down. So the success was because of my understanding and passion for knowledge in what they love or what they say they love the most.
Yeah, and it's like that religion and these timeless principles without an agenda. Obviously, there are bad people out there who can wield these things and make bad things happen as a result, but doing that without an agenda, like it sounds like in your experience, has been a big thing of your growth as well as the people that you've been around.
It's hypocritical, like in every war that you're in, and you're with the people of the victims of the war and strengthening them like we were in Iraq, building them to be better soldiers, helping them build their country and all that sort of stuff. But sure, there's an argument we shouldn't have been there in the first place, but we were there, and these people needed our help. So it was my duty, I thought, as the head of security, the Iraqi government, is what I was doing mostly in Iraq, was to understand their passion for something greater than themselves. And when you really understand that, then you start to realize that even though they're saying these things, they're not acting in a way that would say they believe in those things. So it's quite controversial, isn't it? It's like, you say you're a really good Muslim or a really good Christian, but you're doing really bad things that go against everything Christianity is doing, and the same in Islam. So it leaves you with just scratching your head half the time, going, what's the point of anything?
For sure. And that disillusionment of war and conflict and society and governments and corporations is such a big one.